everyone. I am Gabby Eichenlaub, Program Director here at Stitch Crew.
And I'm Jay Johnson, Program Coordinator here at Stitch Crew.
Starting and scaling a business is no small feat. Since 2018, we have been with Stitch Crew really working with founders across industries, across regions.
It is such a privilege to work with these remarkable founders. They are driven, they are inspiring, they're hardworking. And through our accelerator programs, we've seen firsthand how mentorship and funding and a strong network can make all the difference. And today we're so excited to share the stories of incredible founders who have reached a major milestone, building a business that hits 1 million in revenue.
All of them, kind of took a different path to success, but they all share one thing in common, that they made a commitment to not only building a business, they all had a purpose in what they were building. And just hearing their journeys is so powerful.
In these conversations, they open up about challenges they faced, the mindset shifts that help them scale, and the lessons they've learned along the way.
Just in a second, we will cut over to their videos. You can also check out their blog post on our website at stitchcrew.com and read more about them.
Yeah, so let's dive in. First up, we'll hear from Caitlin Bruder of Motor Mouth Therapy as she shares how she's built her business to where it is today.
Hi, I'm Caitlin Bruder. I'm the founder of Motor Mouth Therapy, the pediatric therapy company providing speech, occupational, and physical therapy. We serve clients in home, in schools, and we also have a clinic in Catoosa, Oklahoma.
I'd love it if you could just dive into your background and your inspiration behind starting Motor Mouth Therapy.
So I always knew that I would do something in the realm of therapies. I think I thought about all of them at one point. But I finally landed on speech therapy because I just thought communication is life. I really got introduced to all of those because of my older sister who has disabilities. And I went with her tagging along to everything. And I saw, not only how beneficial those therapies were for her, but how much of a struggle it was for parents. So that's something that we are huge on. We go to schools, we go and see the kiddos in their homes, in their daycares to try to just alleviate some of that pressure that parents are feeling. Being able to build those relationships with families, we get to hear all about the progress and not just the progress that we're seeing. And, it kind of goes back to that sense of community. We need to have that communication with parents, teachers, their daycare faculty, whoever is in that child's life, because that's how they're going to make the most progress. Just, carrying that over, not only in our workplace, but into the communities, I think has been huge. And it's something that sets us apart from other therapy companies.
Right, it definitely does. And I know in your blog post you mentioned sometimes like reading the reviews, it keeps you going. Is there a certain review that you can think of or that sticks out to you?
Probably it was one of those first clients I ever had, and we were working on getting a kiddo a communication device because he was nonverbal, and I was able to do that for him and give him a voice. Now he can say things like "I love you," and they were like, "We never thought we would hear those words before." And yeah, those reviews, the "I love yous" are, really what keep me going because especially in the early days of entrepreneurship, it's, oh my gosh, am I in over my head? How are we gonna do this? You're not profitable yet. Is this worth it? Even though there might be all these other challenges business wise, it's really about the clients. And so when I can think about those milestones I've got to witness, it's amazing.
That's so special, Caitlin, and really just a strong sense of purpose for building, like you said, especially in those moments where you're just questioning everything. You are part of the Fall 2023 Cherokee Women Accelerator. I would love to know what drew you to the program and how did it shape how you run your business even now?
I didn't really have a business background or never really took business courses. I didn't have family members who have started businesses. So seeing just how beneficial Stitch Crew could be to the overall growth of my company, aside from, the grant attached to it, it was oh, I need to learn these things. Being able to go through that too with other entrepreneurs, I think was huge because it is sometimes a very daunting journey, but also very lonely journey. And you shouldn't be doing it alone, right? I was hoping for the best and was so thankful. When I got into the program, I was crying and it happened at the right time. It was like at a time when we were growing, but I was like, how are we going to keep up with this growth? Like, how am I going to stay like mentally sane and be able to do this?
Thank you so much for sharing, Caitlin. Like, I remember there was a couple times like throughout the program in 2023 where you and I just would cry talking because we're like,
Yes.
you're such an inspiration, and I love bragging about you. Anyways, I wanted to tell you that. But what is one piece of advice you would give to an entrepreneur who's just starting out?
Stay grounded, and during those difficult times of just being like, is this worth it? Because everybody's gonna have that time when they're like, all right, like I'm putting in all this work, I'm not really seeing the results yet. I think we have to remember like the baby steps, right? My grandma used to say like one step at a time. Yes, it's great to have those big dreams and reach your 1 million in revenue goal, but I wouldn't have gotten there if I hadn't really embraced each of those steps and those milestones along the way.
Wow, we really enjoyed that interview with Caitlin. She had so much to share with us, and you can read even more about her work and what she's doing on her blog post at stitchcrew.com/blog. Up next, we are talking to Edith Carnero, co-founder of MC Real Steel Construction.
My name is Edith Carnero. I'm one of the co-founders of MC Real Steel Construction. Work with general contractors through the U.S. We specialize in structural steel erection.
What led you to officially start like, okay, we're going to make this a company, we're going to go into this industry? How did that start?
I think our number one motivation was our kids, our family. We wanted to provide a better future for them and eager to try to do more for our community. I immigrated to this country when I was only 10, 11 years old. It was very hard at the beginning. I had to do several jobs while going to school. I remember I was only like 12 and I was already like cleaning schools, office buildings, working at night while I got into middle school. I didn't want my kids to having to go through for all of those things that I have to go through. It has been hard for us, but somehow we're making it. And that's thanks to the people that it's always behind us. And then that's thanks to our kids as well. Being a woman in construction, it's been hard. I've been knocking like so many doors, and it's hard for them to see you like the owner of a construction company, being a female, and on top of that, being a Latino female. But we have overcome obstacles. We have overcome several obstacles, and then I feel like right now we're working with the right people.
You're really thriving, and I'm glad to see that.
Edith, I know you said that your kids and giving back to your community is kind of what pushed you to start the business. But what did those early years of MC Real Steel look like?
We opened our doors in 2021. I remember not having any single contract for almost the first years. I was always on the computer sending emails. I remember Oscar waking up at 6 a.m. every single day looking for job sites, and we were almost spending all of our savings. Mortgage payment was coming out. Bills were not waiting. And our first contract, I remember it came the end of 2021, December 2021. And we were kind of surprised because it was from a well-known construction company. That's all it takes. From then, we haven't stopped at all.
So you participated in the spring 2024 cohort. I'd love to hear a little bit more about your experience in that, and if there was a particular session or mentor advice or theme or topic that you feel like, okay, this is something I really grabbed onto and it's had an impact on your business.
I remember when I started on the program, for me, talking was a big no. I didn't feel confident enough, especially with my accent, especially with English not being my first language. I remember Erica give us somehow the courage of not being afraid of being who we are.
It's so easy to get stuck in kind of like that imposter feeling of like, am I the right person? Am I supposed to be doing this? It can't be me, but it has been you and Oscar that have grown this business. And so we're just so proud to be just a small part of that journey. And I'd love to hear just what has been the most rewarding part of the whole journey for you.
To be honest, it's not even about growing the business. It's about the way growing that business has helped us help others. we have this thing of paternity leave. We know that how important it is for the dads to be on probably on newborn's life, or maybe they're going through a adoption process or whatever they're going through. Like that's matter as well. Another program, it's called, we call it the diaper program, where we help families for 6 months with diapers, wipes, any baby's necessities that they may have. We were able to help another employee getting his first car, so that's actually was actually excited. He was riding his bicycle to work, so me and Oscar were like, nah. So those little things, like being able to give back a little bit of what we have.
Those are huge things. Again, just pointing to the fact of how you purposefully growing your business, keeping your community in mind, and how many lives that has touched. I think that's just huge.
Yes. Oh, I love listening to you, Edith. And one more question I have is just what's one piece of advice you would offer to aspiring entrepreneurs, especially those from immigrant backgrounds?
Don't give up on your dreams. Times are gonna get tough, especially nowadays. We gotta show them. We gotta show them what we're made of, what we're capable of. Don't be afraid of stand up for what you believe.
Thank you for joining us and for listening to these amazing founders share their stories of how they are building not only successful businesses, but also purpose-driven businesses. Stay tuned for more stories from founders in our community, as well as more resources for founders. Because remember, nobody builds companies alone.